Lesson 2, Properties of Quadratics in Standard Form. So first thing we're going to do is find the y-intercept. So for y equals x squared plus 4x plus 4, to find your y-intercept you make x equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 plus 4, so y equals 4. So the intercept would be at 0, 4. So that's pretty straightforward, but it also helps you to graph. Okay, finding an intercept from a graph. So we're going to make a table of values, and we're going to search till we find two x values that have the same y. So we want to find multiple y's. So let's always try 0. 0 plus 0 minus 2, so equals negative 2. And it's always good to go plus 1 minus 1. So y equals 1 squared plus 1 minus 2, which equals 1 squared is 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 2 is 0. And y equals negative 1 squared plus negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 squared is 1 plus negative 1 is 0, minus 2 is minus 2. So we already have our two y's. Oh, we have two x's that have the same y. So using this, we can find our vertex. So we're going to add together our two x's. So negative 1 plus 0 and divide by 2. We get negative 0.5. Now, we can mathematically find our y value now. So we're going to plug in negative 0.5 into the equation. So negative 0.5 is equal to squared minus 0.5 minus 2, and you type this all into your calculator, you should get negative 2.25. So our vertex would be negative 0.5, comma negative 2.25. For example 3, for the same function, so y equals x squared plus x minus 2, we want to find the direction that it opens, the minimum or maximum, and the domain and range. So, if we look at the function y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, our a is always beside our x squared. And when a is positive, we know it opens up. So for ours, we have a equals 1. So we know the direction, except I spelled direction wrong. Nice. Is up. And we already found the vertex to be negative 0.5 and negative 2.25. And so if we draw a quick sketch, just a quick one, we have our vertex here and it goes up from here. So we know that we'll have a minimum value. So our minimum is y equals negative 2.25. Our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 0.5. Our domain goes on and on forever, left and right, so x such that x is an element of the real number set. And our range, we want it to go above negative 2.25. So y has to be greater than or equal negative 2.25. So there's all of those properties about this function. Okay, for example 4, we want to sketch the following. Y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. So first, let's find the y-intercept. So we'll make x 0, so y equals 2 times 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 6, so y equals negative 6. So we know we have a point at 0, comma negative 6. We're also going to make a table of values. So we already know that at 0, it's negative 6. So let's try some negative numbers. So if we plug in a negative 1, so negative 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4. minus 6. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Minus 6 is negative 8. Let's do 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 times 1 is 4, minus 6. So this one will equal 0. Let's try negative 2. So 2 times negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 6. 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So this one is negative 6. So we have found our two values. So to find our vertex, we would do x is equal to negative 2 plus 0 divided by 2, which is negative 1. So this means that our vertex is negative 1 comma negative 8. Our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1, and we know it opens up because a equals 2. So that means that our minimum value is y equals negative 8. So we have all this information. Now we're going to graph it. Oops. So we have a point, our vertex at 1 and negative 8. 1, 2, 7, 8. Good. Negative 1 and negative 8. And we know that this is our axis of symmetry, so that means that everything is equal on each side. We also know our y-intercept is at 0 and negative 6. Right here. And we have a point at negative 2 and negative 6. Now, because we have a point at 1 and 0, that means at negative 3, it's also going to be 0 because it has to be equal on both sides. So our function should look like this, except that should be more straight. Like that. So something like that. And we'll label it y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. And we need to find our domain and range, just for good practice. So we know that domain is x such that x is an element of the real numbers. And we want range to be greater than our minimum, so y is greater than or equal to negative 8. So that is our graph.